Hello guys, this is Uncle DJ from Mathematical Series for Junior and Senior Secondary. Today we are going to be learning how to count in sevens and using days of the week as example. If today is your first time on this channel, you're welcome. Please do subscribe to join this wonderful community and don't forget to click on the notification bell icon so that you'll be the first to know when we release our weekly and monthly videos. Now let's get started. Remember in the last lesson, I gave a home task on how to use multiplication table for both addition and division of numbers. Here are the answers to those home tasks. So now let's get back to the lesson of the day, counting in sevens. Numbers can be counted in different bases such as in sevens, in tens, in 60s, etc. depending on what exactly we are trying to measure. Some of the examples I put together include 7 days make 1 week. What it means is that while trying to measure 1 week, we need to group together 7 days. In other words, grouping together 7 days gives us 1 week. So we count in sevens to give us 1 week. We count 7 days to give us 1 week. We count 12 months together to give us 1 year. We count 60 seconds together to give us 1 minute. We count 60 minutes together as a group to give us 1 hour. We count 24 hours together to give us 1 day. We count 365 days together to give us 1 year. We count 1,000 grams together, or we group them together to give us 1 kilogram. We group together 10 millimeters to give us 1 centimeter. So depending on what you are trying to measure, we need to group some numbers together or count some numbers together to get another measure. So now let's try to solve some questions on how to count in sevens. So we are going to be using days of the week as our example. So we are going to be solving questions based on days of the week. Now remember, the main thing about days of the week is that 7 days make 1 week, or 1 week is equals to 7 days. So for the purpose of this class, you need to memorize or know this, that we group 7 days together to give us 1 week. Remember, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 days give us 1 week. So just put that in mind, or 1 week equals 7 days. Now let's try to solve some of these questions. Now the very first question is, find the total number of weeks and days in 2 weeks, 5 days, plus 4 days, plus 4 weeks, 4 days. To solve this kind of question, what we have to do is we need to write the column and the week column and the day column. You write it like this, week and days. Then let's try to classify the question. 2 weeks, 5 days. We write 2 under weeks and 5 under days. Then the second one is 4 days. That is 0 weeks. That is nothing. 0 weeks and 4 days. While the third one is 4 weeks, 4 days. That is 4 under week and 4 under days. So what do we do next? We write a plus sign because we are adding total number of weeks. So we are adding. So now let's try to add 5 plus 4 plus 4. If you count that together using maybe your fingers, or you write it down somewhere, you count it. 5 plus 4 plus 4 will give us 13. Then if we count this side, which is the week column, 2 plus 4 gives us what? 6. Right? If you count 2 and count 4, it gives us 6. But if you watch this very well, the days here is 13. We can't just leave it as 13 days, because 7 days equals 1 week. So we have to look for a way to convert this 13 into week and days. So these 13 days, what do? We can count 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. After counting 13, what it means is that if we can group it in sevens, remember 7 days make 1 week. So if we count 7 out of that 13, it will mean it is equal to 1 week. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this first 7 that we have counted out is 1 week. While the remaining one we have here is the number of days that is remaining. Let's see if we can still get another 7 out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not up to 7, so it's just 6 days that is remaining. So we have this 13 days is actually equals to 1 week and 6 days. So what you now do is that this 6 days that is here is what you write here. You don't write 13 here. You cancel that 13 and write 6. While this remaining 1 week that we are able to get out of 13 days, what do? We move down 1 week to the week column and add it to this 6 that we initially had. So that means 6 plus 1 makes what? 7. So the final answer becomes 7 weeks and 6 days. Now let's go to the next question. Give the answer in days only. Now, to get the answers in days only, what do? You remember our answer was 7 weeks and 6 days. Inside this particular answer, 7 weeks and 6 days, you can see that we have week number and we have day number. We have 6 days and 7 weeks. The one that they want us to convert the answers to days. So in other words, we are supposed to change these 7 weeks that we have here into days. Then whatever we get as the answer, you add it to these 6 days that we already have. So now let's try to make 7 weeks into days. Now you have to remember your formula again. 7 days make 1 week. But this time around, we are trying to convert 7 weeks to days. So what do? We call it, instead of saying 7 days equals 1 week, we do 1 week equals 7 days. Because we are trying to convert week to days. Once we are trying to convert week to days, what we are trying to convert is always on the left-hand side. We are trying to convert 7 days to weeks. We are trying to convert 7 days to weeks. So the one we are trying to convert must be on the left-hand side. So we have 1 week equals 7 days. Therefore, 7 days is equals to 7, this 7 here, times this 7 that is just coming. 7 will give us how many? 7 times 7 is equals to what? 49. So after getting 49, we need to add these 6 days we already have. We add it to it. So we add 49 plus 6, which gives us a total of what? 55 days, which is our final answer. So the answer is 55 days. Now let's try to solve the next question. Today is Thursday. What day of the week will it be in 122 days time? To solve this question, what you have to do is we need to first convert this 122 days into weeks and days. Very, very important. That's what we have to first do. 122 days, we have to convert it into weeks and days. Now, let us write it down. Today is Thursday. In 122 days time, we are trying to find out how it's going to be. We have to change 122 days to week and days. Now, how do we do that? Remember, in this particular case, we are trying to convert 122 days to weeks. In the previous one where we were trying to convert weeks to days. Now we're trying to convert days to weeks. Anyone you are trying to convert must be on the what? On the left hand side. So we are trying to convert days to weeks. So how are we going to arrange it? Instead of saying 1 week equals 7 days, you can see days what we are trying to convert. So these days has to be on the left hand side. So it will be 7 days equals 1 week, not 1 week equals 7 days. We have to turn it around and say 7 days equals 1 week. So now you can see we are having 7 days equals 1 week. So we have to best find out what will be 1 day. 1 day equals to 1 all over 7 weeks. It's important. This particular step is important. You need to find out the equivalent of 1 day. 1 day is equals to 1 over 7. This one over 7 weeks. This one all over 7 weeks. Then, therefore, 122 days, this 122 days equals 1 over 7 times 120, this 122 divided over 1. So, what do you now do? You multiply the numerator and you multiply the denominator. 1 times 122 gives us 122. 7 times 1 gives us 7. So, we get 122 over 7. You get? So, that is how we get this fraction. And as you can see, it is very, very difficult for us to count 122 and start dividing it and start grouping it in sevens. It will take us a very long time to do that. So we need to use the long multiplication method, or you take your multiplication table to solve that problem. So let us try to use the multiplication method. Let us take the multiplication table to do that. Now, this is the multiplication table. We are doing 122 divided by 7. What it means is that on line 7, you look for the number 122. Now let's try to find 122 along the line 7. Let's try to find it. We trace it now, finding 122. Can we find 122? Can we find 122? Oh, we didn't find 122, but we saw a bigger number, 126, and a smaller number, 119. So what do? We ignore the big one. We leave the big one alone and use the smaller one, which is 119. Then we now trace that up to give us what? 17. So what do we write? We first write, so 122 divided by 7 equals 17 remainder. Okay, let's find what will be the remainder. The remainder will be, what are we trying to look for? We are trying to look for 122, but we got 119. So we look for, we now say 122 minus what? What did we find? We found 119. So we write 119 under it. 119 under it. So what do we get? Okay, we borrow 1 from here, we put it here, makes it 12. 3. So we have 17 remainder what? 3. This 17 remainder 3 means 17 weeks and what? 3 days. So our answer becomes 17 weeks and 3 days. We used our multiplication method or our multiplication table, and we found out that we got the answer as 17 weeks and 3 days, which is exactly what we have using this method too. So after 17, now we need to understand this. After 17 weeks, these 17 weeks, we are going to meet another Thursday again after 17 weeks. So let's say after 17 weeks, it is equal to Thursday again. So this remaining 3 days that we have here is what we need to count. So if today is Thursday, if that 17 weeks is Thursday, then 3 days time will become 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Now let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So our final answer becomes Sunday. That's how we get the answer. So Sunday becomes the answer. The day of the week it will be in 122 days time will be what? Will be Sunday. Now that we have been able to solve a couple of examples on counting in 7 using examples of days of the week, I want you to solve some of these home tasks yourself. During the rainy season, sun did not shine for 158 days. How many weeks and days is this? So we are converting these days to weeks. Add the following together: 3 weeks, 4 days, plus 2 weeks, 4 days. And 1 week, 5 days, plus 4 weeks, 3 days. Also, the next question, suppose today is Monday, what day of the week will it be? Will it be after 38 days? Make sure you solve and write your answers in the comment section. Check it out. The next lesson that we are going to be working on is how to count in 60s using time calculations as examples. In that particular lesson, I'm going to be showing the answers to these home tasks so that you'll be able to know what exactly the correct answers are before we start with that lesson. I hope this particular lesson was helpful. It was nice having you around. Thank you for watching and see you in the next lesson. Thank you.